this, but that's why you have a handout on this. I gotta get on the right page, and I want to get my own handout so I don't go bonkers. One moment, please. So your first handout is, oh, don't even tell me she didn't make that?
Yeah, it's in here.
Oh. Strike that from the tape. I don't want Jill to hear it. She'll get mad. Okay, this is the true story. I made this one day because I was ticked off. Let's write a grant. All of you are going to hear that, right? Because somebody thinks it's a good idea. And they think you can sit down and start writing. That's like saying, let's write a book or let's build a house. You just don't run out and build a house. This was what my therapist told me to free write when I get upset about things. I just channeled it in a professional and positive way. So this is just my little stupid rubric, which has worked well for many, many years, to tell people, okay, here's all this stuff you need to do, and I've categorized it into 4 phases. You have to understand what kind of grants you're going for in the research phase. You have to understand, what am I eligible for or not? That's why I'm asking you, are you for-profit, not-profit? You know, how many grants has your organization won? There is so much front information that you have to gather first. So this is all about grant research, and it's about, I guess I would say, prospect research. If you're looking into the nonprofit world, right, you have to get after and see who has the Fox Valley Community Foundation funded, or who has the Shawano area, don't we have Shawano Area Community Foundation? Who's our foundation here that gives out money every year that I read about in the paper? Wendy Crawford's group, family, whatever. You have to see what kind of grants. It's very important if you can read annual reports, awards. You can look and see what awards. You have to find out, are they funding organizations like me or programs like me? That's all in this front phase, so that you can pick. If you are new at grant writing and you can get 1 or 2 grants in a 12-month time frame, you're doing very good. Thank you, Ms. Executive Director, for nodding your head. If you're an experienced grant writer, like we get hired to write grants for organizations that are kind of umbrella, and they write grants for like 100 different small organizations. I never have promised that I would write 1 grant a month. If we can get 1 grant per quarter in, and we're good at what we do, that's really, really good. So focus on 1 or 2 grants a year is going to be my suggestion to you, unless they're small, like 1,000 or under, you know, then you could probably write a few of them. So anyways, that all comes here. There might be a ton coming at you, but you gotta pick. I'm trying to give you measurable guidelines, because I'm trying to pretend like my husband's also in this room. He doesn't like touchy-feely stuff. He wants like numbers and measurement and logics. So all I'm saying is 1 to 2 if you're brand new. If you're experienced and they're smaller, you might be able to write 3 or 4. Maybe 4 is pushing it. The next part is, this is all of that this is all of that dreaming, scheming, and when you're drawing blueprints for a house, if you will. This is all the conceptual stuff. Who might be our partners? Let's have a big, rich discussion. How are we going to put down what our main concept is here, so that we can tell our story, the main points of our story, and then we can spin it out to however many different applications that we're going to write. That's all about developing a project and proposal concept. You can tell if somebody is just writing off the top of their head. If somebody has a well-developed proposal, you can tell it's well thought out, because from the needs to the goals and objectives to the management plan of how you're going to carry it out to the staffing and to the budget, it all is very well tied together. You can also tell when somebody writes one section and somebody writes another. So what I want you to think about is, like, it's almost like this is like pre-writing. Lay it out. What are all the possibilities? Is this realistic or not? I don't know if any of you are ex-athletes like me. My knees left me a long time ago, but I get like almost I don't want to say a runner's high. I wasn't a runner, but you know, when a competitive high. We're going after these grants, and then you get it and you're like, oh my God, now what? So you got to really think about those things. So this is kind of pre-writing, and this is a very creative phase here. It's also gathering baseline data. It's also looking at the capacity and needs. Is this really needed, or is it because it's the boss's pet project or whatever? You know, you really have to flush it out. I have nice templates for all of these phases too, so you can do some pre-writing, because this is the part where you actually do the I'm writing the narrative pages, you know. These are templates. This is where you actually look at the RFP, the request for proposal, and you respond to it. And when you respond to a request for proposal, it's called your grant application.